Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of our Bark to Bottle podcast. Today we are recording in one of the most iconic wine landscapes in the world, the Douro Valley. This region is globally known for the Porto wine, but is actually much more diverse and more dynamic than many people realize. We are here at Quinta de Santa Eufémia, a family estate with a long and remarkable history here in the Douro, now led by the 11th generation of the Rodrigues de Carvalho family, the 4th generation of this family here at Quinta de Santa Eufémia. I'm joined today by Bernardo de Carvalho, the sales director here, and his sister Alzira Carvalho, the winemaker here at Quinta de Santa Eufémia. First of all, thank you both of you for welcoming us here. It's a great pleasure for us to be here.
Also for us, it's a pleasure to receive you, Catarina, in our place. You know, it's important that you see a little, in the time that we have today, about our history, about our family, how we produce wine. Yes. Behind us, it is a very old vineyard, you know. The time original, here it was from time of the Romans. The Romans have been in this place here producing wine in cereals. The name is Vinha do Val de Conde. We are 11 generations, like you tell, not in this place. Before we are in the village, small producers. This place it was from noblemen, knights of the king. It was our great-grandfather that buy this place, and for that we tell that we are 4 generations here. Important that you are visiting a quinta, and when you visit a quinta, that on the brand, on the label, you have the name quinta, it means that it's a producer. For us it's forbidden to buy grapes or wine. We only can sell the wines that produced with our grapes. Important that only our generation we start to sell in the market. Before our generation, the wines it was sold to the companies. It was a question about the rules. Only when Portugal go to the community, it was opened market. And we start in our generation. Nowadays we are selling in 21 different countries, okay?
Okay, really nice. Already a big improvement in your history. And what does it mean on a personal and also professional level, of course, to produce wine here in this region, the Douro?
Well, first of all, thank you for being here. About that question, well, personally for us is very important because we feel that we are continuing with the tradition that came from a long time. And also at the same time we try to increase and we grow so that the next generation go on with this. That is a legacy that we have that we want to keep and maintain and we want to pass. Sure. In the professional, well, I am very lucky. I have the most wonderful profession. I have to drink lots of wines. I have to do lots of wines. I started with 7 years helping my father. I made my first port wine with 7 years. He taught me how to do it. Nice. And then for me it was not open. I went to study agriculture, and with that knowledge and the knowledge that I have with my father, I also am trying to do other things, put my finger on this business, creating new products. But yes, I feel that I'm very, very lucky to have this profession. And
since
I like
an early age, right? Yes. Pretty nice. So you were talking about Porto wine. Porto wine is a central part of the Douro history for sure, but it's not the whole history. How do you see the Porto wine role in the Douro today?
Can I tell you?
Yes.
Okay.
Feel free.
Porto wine, you know, when you visit different countries, what do you see normally? International countries. You see always some grapes from the countries, but after always international grapes. French grapes, normally they are in old countries. They tell that the future of the wine, it will be in 2 countries, Italy and Portugal. Why? The countries that have more different grapes. But for example, to understand Portugal, we have almost 300 different grapes, native grapes here in Portugal. But for example, when you think in Douro Valley, in density, for example, Portugal is #1 in the world. Because we are a small country than Italy. Italy, they have more grapes, but in density, Portugal is #1. But you know, in Douro Valley, we have almost 125 different grapes. Only this small region, 40,000 hectares of vineyards. And the principal red grape here is Touriga Nacional, Touriga Franca. But it's like this. When we intended, for example, to present our wines in international market, for example, when it is red wine, white wine, we must understand the markets. Markets are different. There are some countries that want to have wines with tannins. Some countries want to have wines more smooth. Some countries they like French oak, American oak. Some countries they like only the fruit. And we can adapt, you know.
Of course, yeah.
We adapt style. When Alzira produced wine, depending of the market where we are selling, she can put more French oak, more American oak, grapes with more tannins, no tannins. We changed the style. But when you go to port wine, it's different, you know. Port wine we produce in our style. As she tell, it is family's tradition that she have university,
Continuous.
but she learned with our father to produce wine. And when we present port wine, we present our style. The clients buy or not buy, but never an international client tell to a Portuguese how we must
How to
produce
do
port
the
wine.
port wine.
And for that, port wine is Portugal, you know. When people visit Portugal, okay, they can drink different regions, different wines, but when they want to buy a bottle of wine from Portugal to return, is a bottle of port wine. And to understand the importance about our region, if you put the numbers of port wine and Douro wine, we have 4 regions, different wines here in Portugal, but this small region, port wine and Douro wine, represent 52% of exportations of Portuguese wine.
Yeah, a lot coming from the port wine, definitely. But do you see the role of port wine changing along the years?
Look, the wine is changing in the world. People are not drinking so much, but people came here buy the port wine.
Yes.
And the future, it will be always the wine, port wine.
Yeah, but do you see it as natural by coexisting with other expressions of the same land, like still wines? Do you see it absolutely natural, this?
Yes, yes, I think it's possible because that is a complement. I don't see the Douro still wines in the region as an evolution of port. No, they are different. They are different. For us, for instance, to produce those still wines is a evolution of our company, diversifying our products, but never a change of objective direction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because for us, we certainly will be always a company, a family company producing port. Because as Bernardo told, that is unique, and we intend to keep that and maintain.
For sure.
Yes.
And this is the only region that can produce port wine.
Yeah, yeah.
Wine you produce in all different countries. This is the only region where it's possible to produce port wine.
So it's a product from Portugal. So.
Yes, and also there is something that sometimes people don't speak about, and is important to say. Port has been changing. I think that is everybody is concerned of that and try to adapt the new categories to new consumers, and that is being doing. But of course, still wines is a very complement and is essential for the developing of this region.
Yeah, so in the last decades, the Douro is becoming more and more attractive also for still wines. How do you see and what do these wines reveal from the region that the Porto wine cannot reveal?
For me, it's something that Bernardo spoke about, the grape varieties. That is for me the best thing that the still wines show. Even that is interesting that there is always a common base, and we notice that when is a good wine of port, is a good wine of Douro wines. But in this matter, the grape varieties, we have a possibility to show all the things that we have here in the region. And as Bernardo told, we have more than 100 grapes that are, sometimes they are not very well known, and they have an enormous potential. This year, for instance, we are presenting one wine that is a Tinto Cão. Only a few companies has, and is good. And like that, we have much more grapes that we can do it, and that we can't do in port.
Exactly, much more blends as well that
Yes.
you can mix. But if a sommelier has just 20 seconds to present a wine, what's the one sentence that would show really the Santa Eufémia essence?
Well, in our case, I will say, this is a DOC, Douro wine, produced in Quinta de Santa Eufémia, a family wine tradition, because we want to keep everything. We have the region, we have us, and we have tradition, but it's a Douro wine.
Yeah, for sure. But which of your wines would you serve to someone, to surprise someone who really thinks that Douro is just about port wine?
I will show a Touriga Nacional.
A Touriga Nacional,
Nacional.
Probably the best option for you to
Yes,
show the
yes,
potential of Douro.
Yes, because that we don't have it in port, and Touriga Nacional is a great variety. We can we can see that variety in the other regions, but here in Douro is where she shows herself. It's incredible.
And to understand, for example, a little of Touriga Nacional is international grape now.
Exactly.
They are planting outside. For example, if you go to France, Bordeaux, they plant Touriga Nacional. South Africa, United States. It will be our first international grape,
Yeah.
Touriga Nacional.
But he's here that he is better.
Exactly. It's the house of Touriga Nacional. But the Douro is not only about wine. You also produce olive oil, right? How do you see the expression of olive oil here in the region? What's the main difference?
Well, olive oil for us is more to diverse a little our production, but we have lots of tradition. As you can see in this region, if you look around, you'll see lots of olive trees. Our ancestors, they plant olive. They always have olive. Our great-grandfather, he may have a factory to make olive oil here, but the olive oil was not very good because machines were not so good. Well, and that was something that we also decided to do and recover with new technology, and really the olive oil is very good here, as other things that we have. The almonds, the cherries, the orange, the vegetables, that for us also is important because show our diversity, and is important to when we see Douro Valley, not see just wine, see everything around, see other things, and is important that the region show that, and for us also is very important that, and we have that.
Yeah, and do you see it as a complement of the wines that you already have? That is the focus. Olive oil can be a good complement for you.
Yes, is that, and we intend in the future to have other complements, like other things that we have here that are very good, like the almond, the cherries, and that is step by step. We intend to do that.
And when we talk about Douro, nowadays it's important to talk about tourism and wine tourism. Since the Douro was classified as UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2001, tourism is becoming a reality and probably the future of the region. How important has wine tourism become for the Douro region since this recognition?
You know, before 2001, anybody came to Douro. All the tourists stay in the city of Porto. They visited companies, they visit cellars, they see videos where they show how it was a long time. Only after 2001, start to came here. When they came here, they came why? Because this is the biggest region protected by UNESCO in wine region. 24,000 hectares of vineyards that are protected by UNESCO. All our vineyards are protected by UNESCO. What these people came here to see? They came to see the landscape. Landscape is like you see, is beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful.
Not today, not a very nice day. We don't have the sun, but came also by the wine, port wine, the olive oil. We have also sparkling in our region. We have muscatel also, very good in the region of Avaios. It's very important, you know. Why? These people is our marketing people outside. We are receiving more than 25,000 people visiting us. We are a small company, attention. Numbers very important to us. These people pay to visit, they buy our wines, and after when they return, they always try to buy our wine outside. And we start to have feedback from the clients from outside, from tourists that visit us.
But so do you see that this wine tourism has changed the economic sustainability of this region, like for producers just like you, right?
I tell you that there are companies near us, the profit that they have from tourism pay all the work about wine.
It's big. It's
But
quite
focus
important.
must be the wine, attention.
Yeah, always. And people come here for the wine, first of all.
If we don't have wine,
Yeah.
they don't come here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, it's different.
Exactly. So, at a time when global alcohol consumption is declining, as we know, do you see wine tourism as a key and quite crucial factor to companies here in the Douro, to the whole region?
Do you know, we see the numbers that all countries are concerned. Is the numbers about alcohol, the numbers about the war. The war is also people don't drink so much, the people don't spend so money. But what we know, the people that visit us, they drink wine. You know, for example, by the numbers, Portugal is #1 in the world drinking wine.
Yeah.
It's not true. It's tourists that visit us that they drink. And for
Douro
that,
is quite responsible for that.
I think it is tourism that go to push by our region, okay?
Yeah.
This region is beautiful, you see. I think it's most beautiful wine region of the world.
So it's a region that is much more richer than many people realize. People think always about Porto wine. What do you think they are missing when they think about Douro and they just think about Porto wine?
They are missing a lot. Many of things as Bernardo tell. But I think that reducing all this region to port is not acceptable. And for that they have to visit us. Because when they are here, they realize that. The people, the view, the Douro wines, the olive, everything. So they have to visit, and for that it was very important when there was the Patrimônio of UNESCO in Douro Valley. Because before we also have the port wine, but now we have the port and the region. And it's the region that they have to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
I think also a big difference is different grapes. What Portugal we have different from the big countries from Europe is different grapes. We know that the names are not easy. It's a problem to
especially for the
people
others.
from
Yeah,
outside.
yeah.
Yes, but okay, the names of them are not so easy, and we learn. They must learn.
Yeah.
I think Portugal is growing. Important work that we are doing, and the future of this region it will be port wine, and tourism.
The Portuguese grapes are becoming more and more important in other regions, as you have mentioned. But according to generations, as we are talking about the declining of the consumer, how do you see and what do you have to offer to the new targets, so the new generation? How do you see this new generation of consumers? What can you give different?
But you know, wine is our history. I tell Norma that I have my blood. The blood of Portugal is wine.
I think that is important that people understand, and when they came here, they understand that is a natural product. Yeah. Is a good product. Is something that is produced here in a good way, so they can drink it safely. And that is good, because sometimes we don't have that assurance in the other things.
Now they are looking to the wine, but look, the wine, okay, we must drink wine not in quantity, we must take care about quantity of wine. When we drive, normally we never drink wine, okay? But you must think, the wine gives good disposition.
Good moments to the
good
people. Good
moments
right?
to people. So when you are eating something good, you drink wine. And for that, okay, you must have a balance, we know. But wine must be always present.
Yeah.
And for us, is always present.
Always present on the table, right? It's mandatory in here. Yes. So I think with this, we really understand that Douro it's much more than Porto wine. It's the base for sure, and it will always be. But it represents a region, is an identity, is global. So I think this podcast was really nice to show all the potentialities of this region, of the different wines that you have. So thank you very much for sharing all your knowledge, all your perspectives here with us. I think it's pretty clear that Douro has a lot to give for the future. Thank you guys for listening to this Bark to Bottle podcast, and we see you in the next episode.
I have a suggestion to you. I know that we are working, but we must drink port wine, okay?
Yeah, that's a good
This
way to
port
finish.
wine is made by Alzira. I think she put in this port wine a small portion from our family.
Okay, a Tawny, 30 years Tawny.
30 years Tawny port.
And saúde.
So, long.